The moment your opponent feels most secure is the moment they are most vulnerable. This is not a paradox, it is a fundamental law of strategy. Security breeds complacency. It fosters patterns. It builds high, visible walls that draw all the attention, leaving the vast, unguarded territories of the mind and the plan completely exposed. We are taught to see strength as an obstacle to be met with equal or greater strength. A brute force calculation. This is a novice's error. True dominance is not achieved by shattering the opponent's shield, but by bypassing it entirely. It is the art of striking the void, the place where no shield exists because no attack is anticipated. This is where battles are won before they are ever fought. This is where composure is broken and victory is quietly secured. Consider the landscape of your own challenges. In the marketplace, an established corporation appears invincible. It has market share, a massive budget, and layers of management. This is its fortress, but this fortress is also a prison. Its size makes it slow. Its processes are rigid. Its success is built on repeating what has worked in the past. This predictability, this sense of institutional security, is its critical vulnerability. It cannot react to a swift, targeted maneuver that doesn't fit its quarterly projections. In a debate or a high-stakes negotiation, your counterpart arrives with a meticulously prepared argument. Their facts are marshaled, their rebuttals pre-scripted. They are secure in their preparation. Their vulnerability is anything and everything that exists outside that script. A single incisive question that reframes the entire premise of the discussion renders their preparation useless. It forces them onto unfamiliar ground, where their only resource is raw intellect, a resource often dulled by reliance on the script. In your career, a coveted position is protected by a formal process, human resources, multiple rounds of interviews, standardized tests. The system is designed to be a filter, a wall. Its security is its structure, but this structure is slow, impersonal, and blind to true potential that doesn't fit its checkboxes. The vulnerability is the direct line to the one person whose problem you can solve, a line that bypasses the entire apparatus. In each scenario, the opponent's perceived strength is a distraction. It is a monument to their own static position. The real target is not the strength itself, but the psychological complacency it creates. The target is their plan, their balance, their expectation of how events will unfold. The ancient general Sun Tzu articulated this with chilling precision. He wrote, "Appear at points which the enemy must hasten to defend. March swiftly to places where you are not expected." Let us dissect this. It is a two-part formula for psychological collapse. March swiftly to places where you are not expected. This is the principle of surprise. It is not simply about stealth. It is about choosing a vector of approach that your opponent has deemed impossible, improbable, or simply irrelevant. You are not on their map. By the time you appear, you are already behind their lines. This could be a new business model, an unconventional legal argument, or a direct personal appeal. You have defined the battleground, and it is a place they have never prepared to defend. The second part of the formula is the consequence. Appear at points which the enemy must hasten to defend. Your unexpected arrival creates an immediate crisis. They are forced to react. They must abandon their own plan, their own carefully constructed position, and rush to counter your move. Their strategy is now dictated by yours. Their resources are pulled from their intended purpose to plug a hole they never knew existed. This is the moment their composure shatters. They are no longer executing a plan. They are scrambling to survive. Panic is a powerful solvent for discipline. The two weapons you use to execute this strategy are speed and surprise. They are inextricably linked. First, speed. Speed, in a strategic sense, is not merely about velocity. It is about the speed of your decision cycle, the ability to observe a situation, orient yourself to the possibilities, decide on a course of action, and act, all before your opponent has completed their own observation. The large corporation is still commissioning studies and holding committee meetings, while a smaller, faster rival has already launched a product, gathered real-world data, and is iterating on its second version. The startup did not have a better plan. It had a faster one. Speed bypasses the enemy's deliberation. It renders their careful analysis obsolete because it acts on a reality that has already changed. You create the new reality while they are still analyzing the old one. Then there is surprise. Surprise is a weapon that attacks the mind directly. It is the psychological shock of a world that is not behaving as it should. It introduces a fatal variable into your opponent's calculations. In the debate, when you sidestep their prepared points and instead question the moral premise of their entire position, you are not just arguing, you are creating a moment of cognitive dissonance. They have no script for this. Their confidence, built on the security of that script, evaporates. They may stammer, they may become defensive, they may lash out. It does not matter. Their authority has been broken, not by superior facts, but by a psychological flank attack they never saw coming. The most effective surprises are often simple, based on an assumption everyone else has overlooked. Consider your own field. What is the one unquestioned assumption that, if challenged, would cause the entire structure to tremble? Leave your thoughts below. Your insight may be instructive for others. To wield these weapons is not to be reckless. It is the opposite. It is the result of a more refined form of preparation. It requires a fundamental shift in how you view any competitive landscape. First, you must learn to map the voids. Stop focusing on your opponent's strengths. That is what they want you to do. Instead, look for what they are not doing. What are they not defending? What process is so routine that it has become invisible to them? What assumption is so deep-seated they are not even aware it is an assumption? This is where you will find your unguarded territory. This is intelligence gathering, not for the purpose of confrontation, but for the purpose of circumvention. Second, you must cultivate decisive action. The pursuit of a perfect plan is the parent of paralysis. Speed requires the courage to act on a sufficient plan. You will never have all the information. The goal is to act while your plan has the highest probability of success, which is often before the opponent is aware you even have a plan. You must be comfortable with calculated risk, understanding that the greatest risk often lies in inaction. Third, you must embrace asymmetry. Do not play the opponent's game. Your advantage lies in being different. If they are large and bureaucratic, you must be small and nimble. If they are rigid and formal, you must be adaptive and personal. If their strength is in data and analytics, your attack should be in narrative and vision. Make their strengths irrelevant. By refusing to engage on their terms, you force them to engage on yours, and on your terms, they are amateurs. Think of the career move. The standard process is the symmetrical approach. You submit your resume along with hundreds of others. The asymmetrical approach is to ignore the process. You use your intelligence gathering to identify the key decision maker. You discover a problem they are facing that the organization has not yet solved. You use speed to craft a concise, powerful proposal that solves that specific problem, and you find a creative channel to deliver it directly to them. You have not applied for a job. You have made yourself indispensable. You appeared swiftly in a place they were not expecting. Your opponent's security is an illusion you can use against them. Their strength is a spotlight that casts deep shadows. It is in these shadows, these undefended voids, that true strategic advantage is found. You do not need to be stronger. You only need to be smarter, faster, and more willing to step where others dare not. By attacking their composure, their plan, and their perception of reality, you achieve a victory that is both total and quiet. Now, look at your own landscape, your project, your career, your competition. Where is the unprepared void in your current challenge? To master these principles requires a shift in perception. If you find this strategic approach valuable, subscribe and join a circle of thinkers dedicated to quiet dominance. On your screen now are further studies in strategic leverage. Select one and continue your training. Victory is not found in the clash of swords, but in the quiet moment before the first move is ever made.